All right, so we're here in beautiful Lawrenceville, Georgia. We just finished up conducting our roof inspection. We're taking a look at this roof to determine whether or not it's repairable. Now, we did a previous video explaining the process of a brilliance test. If you haven't seen that, you want to take a look at it. That's going to be something kind of a prerequisite to this video. It should be somewhere over here or down here. Anyway, it'll pop up. It'll click up here for you. So if you haven't seen that BT video, you want to watch that first so you understand why we're doing this. It's important that you go in chronological order when you're determining the repairability of a roof. The first thing you do is a kind of a visual inspection, then a brilliance test, and then a last result. This is the last effort to prove whether or not a roof is repairable is a true repairability test. This is something that we have worked with a lot of insurance companies and a lot of different claims, giving data to the insurance adjuster why a roof was not repairable. So I'm gonna get into this and show this to you. So we've got this shingle right here. Looks like it's been damaged, been wind creased. So this is a shingle that needs to be replaced. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna pull out my good old handy dandy trowel. I'm gonna go ahead and lift these shingles directly adjacent to it, to the left and to the right. And remember, it's a side-to-side motion. It's not up and down. None of this cranking stuff, okay? You need to move side to side. So, and we're gonna do the top shingles as well. Okay, now we've got all these lifted. The thing I wanna do, the reason they call this a 3-tab shingle, because in each shingle, there's 3 tabs. These are not individual pieces. So I'm gonna take a look here and see if we can find where see where the shingle originates. Now, this is the corner of it right here. So we know this is corner 1, and this is corner 2. So we know our shingle is within these parameters. So I'm gonna do now, put this back, and I'm gonna commence taking the nails out. Now again, I'm not being super rough. This is no different than doing a repair. We had a previous video where we did a roof repair of an architectural shingle. If you haven't seen that, and you're looking for something that's a little bit more, explaining a little bit more of that process or of exactly what we're doing and why we're doing it, you can watch that. Again, we're just getting in here, get these shingles out, get this nail out. Okay, now what we're gonna do, we're gonna go ahead and move this away. Now here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna keep count. We're gonna put a little digit somewhere down here, maybe up here. We're gonna keep count. How many times do we lift these shingles up and down? We're gonna keep count. So we've already lifted them once. Okay, we're not including what we did with the trowel. That doesn't count because the shingle wasn't actually lifted. We lifted them once to pull the nails out. So that's step 1. Okay, I'm gonna set this right here, take our new shingle and put it in. Okay. Now keep in mind, I have to lift the shingle up to get the hammer here. You can't, hit the nail on top of the shingle here. You can't do this. You have to lift the shingle actually up. So I'm gonna lift this here to make sure that we're getting a good seal on the tar strip. Had some adjusters ask me, well, why can't you just use 2 nails? Just use 2 nails. You don't need 4 nails, 6 nails, whatever the case may be. And I say, well, actually, you do need more than that. It's going to keep the wind rating of the roof. This little guy was on a 2x4 on a rafter, and he was not wanting to go in. Okay. Now, I hope you're counting, because so far, we're at 2 times that we lifted these shingles up and down. So we're at 2. And remember, it's not just 1 or 2 shingles. It's a lot of shingles. We're having to lift a lot of shingles to do this. we're at 2 times. Now, the next step is we need to get some caulking. I'm gonna run down, grab that, and be right back. Okay, so we're back on top of the roof, got our caulk gun. So we're gonna come down here, and this is something that's very important. And a lot of adjusters don't know this, and a lot of homeowners don't know this, and some contractors, the bad ones, don't know this either. Once we've lifted all the shingles, got our new shingle in, we then need to come back and hand seal every single shingle that we lifted. These tar lines aren't just gonna magically heat back up and seal themselves. We need to make sure that they're hand sealed. What we would hate to have happen, make this repair, maybe a couple weeks go by, have another storm, and then because all these shingles have been lifted, they have more damage to them because they're susceptible to damage. So we're gonna come over here and then reseal our shingles. Now, I hope you're still counting. So keep counting how many times we're lifting the shingle. So we're gonna come here, here. I'm just coming through, getting a good seal down. Don't need to go crazy with it. Just get a good seal on all these shingles that we lifted. Okay, now that's it. Now I counted 3 times we lifted that shingle. We lifted it once to get the crowbar to get the nails out. We lifted it twice to apply the nail with the hammer. Lifted it a 3rd time to reseal the shingle. Now your insurance adjuster, if you've watched that previous brilliance test video, you'll see that the insurance adjuster will just come down here and he'll just lift the shingle one time, put his fist underneath it, and set it down, and say, that's it, it's repairable. But he didn't make the other lifts. That's it. It's the key is in the details. If you come over here and take a look, you'll see tears in these shingles, right here, where this has been torn from where we've lifted the shingle up. We've lifted the shingle, and this is been torn right here. We got another one right here, right in here. This is during the repair, it suffered this additional damage. You've got another crease right here. Look at this tear right here. Look at that. This is proof that this roof is not repairable. It's just one tear. One tear would mean this whole roof is not repairable, this whole elevation. So, we've just looked over these few shingles. There's already tears on them. We know that this roof is genuinely not repairable. This is why it's so important when you're selecting a roofing contractor. We've made other videos on questions to ask them and things like that. Very important question to ask them is, do you do repairs? Do you know how to repair a roof? Sometimes it's these little details that can be the difference between your insurance company paying for your roof or your insurance company denying your roof. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you have any questions, leave us a comment. We'll catch you next time.